Hello, everyone. It's William here from Allegory Gallery. Thank you for hanging out with me. I am currently in our home office. I I've been doing things here around the house today, and yeah, it's been busy, but I hope you're doing well. My hair is wild today. I just realized I haven't I haven't really looked at myself in the mirror much today. I was playing with Barnaby, so sorry for the delay. It was not technical issues today. It was fur baby issues. Barnaby thought he wanted to be in the room here with me, and then he could not settle down. He's going from one window, climbing over my desk, coming over to this window, climbing over things, almost knocking things off. So he decided himself, thankfully, that he was best off out of the room today. So no Barnaby views today, but he tried. He tried, but he couldn't stay still. Susie's here. Thank you for being here. Let's check over on YouTube. Marianne is here. Hello, Marianne. Harry is here. Hello, Harry. I hope you're having a great afternoon. Um, Let's see. It looks like that's it. That's all I see so far. Thank you all for being here. Talking about how cold it is. Harry's asking, how is the frozen north? Says we are beginning to warm up 50s by the weekend. That's great. Marianne says it's about 46 degrees there in Canada where she is. That's nice. Marianne says cat time. They tried to make a cat time, but um, no. Gilbert was in here earlier, and then he was knocking things over, and so he decided he had to go out. He scared himself, I think, and then and then Barnaby tried. Um, yeah, it's been a day. We are currently at 25 degrees. 25 degrees Fahrenheit. Feels like 19. It is sunny though. It is sunny, and actually that's not that cold compared to what it has been. So I'm happy about that. That's on the high end of things right now. We are not going to get into the 50s though in the foreseeable future. Not even through next Friday. We're not supposed to hit the 50s. So lucky for you, Harry, you're going to get there. And this weekend, we're going to be in the 20s this weekend, low 20s, teens on Sunday. But we are going to get up to 40 and 42 next Tuesday and Wednesday. So that's at least what they're telling me, which who knows. Um, but yeah, Tear is sitting on my lap, says Marianne. Nice, that's cute. I thought Barnaby was going to come in and sit on my lap, but he did not choose to do that. Um, and sorry again, I am looking down at my computer for the comments because the comments are not coming up here. I was going to use Restream today, but I did not get that all together. I was pricing things out today. Instead before the live. So I didn't get all that worked out. Let's see. Danette says, hope y'all are well. Hello, Danette. Thanks for joining us. Says I'm stressed beyond belief. That's no good. Take some time and meditate. I know that's not always the answer, but sounds like, I find when I'm stressed like that, I've realized I've not taken any time for myself. Let me close this up. And sometimes it helps. It helps. I know you're dealing with a big move and stuff. I don't know if there's anything else going on, but hopefully you feel better. And hopefully this lets you de-stress. That's what we're here for, right? You come here stressed, you leave completely de-stressed. So let's hope that works for you. Kimberly is here. Hello, Kimberly. Thanks for joining us. Marianne says just take a deep breath and enjoy the show, right? That's all you can do some days. I know what it's like to be stressed. I live with anxiety myself. That is usually a stress, whether or not something stressful is happening. It's just constant stress. So, um, and it doesn't help when things get extra stressful. Anybody else out there? I know our Wednesday afternoons are very generally low attended. People do watch the replays, so if you're watching this in a replay, thank you so much. But I know people are at work, people are doing things. It's one of those, afternoons are hard. And I know some of our people are retired or semi-retired, but many of them are not. So still working, still trying to get things done. And Sorry, I'm continuing to fix things. Barnaby tried to move. Danette says it's the move. The snow didn't help. Couldn't get back to the house to get the rest of the stuff out, which isn't a lot. Plus, Lucy isn't feeling up to par. That's, I know our pets moves are hard. Moves are hard, and so hopefully, I mean, I don't want to say that's all that is wrong, but hopefully that's the main thing. And there's nothing else behind that. But moves are very hard on pets. I know when we moved into this house, we had Paolo and Babette, and it was quite a transition for them. Um, new areas, new things, new smells. They kind of know their environment, and then moving is difficult. Susan's also here. Hello, Susan. Thanks for joining us. Leslie's here. Good afternoon, Leslie. Thank you for hanging out. Andrew is sleeping right now. He finally got to bed, I think, at about 11 a.m. today. Um, so he's resting. We probably won't hear from him in the comments unless he hears me over here and he wakes up a little bit, but hopefully he doesn't. I'm trying to keep it quieter over here. I'm on the other side of the upstairs from him, so hopefully it's far enough away. He doesn't hear too much. Um, Dennis says, plus I think Dave has to have his other knee replaced. Other than that, my life is pretty boring. See, life is trying to give you things to say, so you can't say your life is boring, right? Um, Sometimes I feel like that, right? Like when we keep saying things are boring or say like we don't have anything to do, or sometimes life gives you things so that you don't feel bored. So maybe just say, my life is very exciting. My life is very full. I have more than enough, right? And maybe some of that'll ease up, right? Um, Hello, Len. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you being here. And anybody else that I missed popping in? Lots of people popped in all at once. Thank you all for being here. Please hit the share button. And if you don't subscribe or follow us, please do that. And please check to see if you actually subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Facebook if you're in both of those places. Because a lot of people think they do, but they don't. There are a lot of pages and even friends and things like it's hard for me sometimes because I run my personal like Instagram and Facebook. I run my William Tries Things Instagram and Facebook. I run the store Allegory Galleries Instagram and Facebook. And sometimes I will follow people from one or two of those accounts and realize like I have realized like years later that I thought I was following somebody from all of our accounts and realized I haven't. I'm like, I hope they don't think I was like ignoring them or like we thought they weren't good enough to follow. Like I get, anxiety. Um, and some people I realize I just don't follow. I thought I was. I see their posts, but like maybe Allegory isn't following them, or maybe I am not following them, but Allegory is. Um, and through the business, we do kind of more curate who we follow. The business usually, sorry, here it is again. Didn't have a problem all morning. um, or afternoon even. And now I'm coughing. We do curate a little bit more who we follow through the business because we look to be following people whose timelines are mainly jewelry stuff. Um, and people that we have a relationship with. Even if we're really good friends and mostly all you post is like family pictures and stuff, we're probably not going to follow you. And that's just so that the algorithm, so that we continue to see jewelry makers and be inspired by that kind of thing. And it keeps us in the category where we want to be, hopefully. I don't know how the algorithms work. No one really does. But so don't take offense, please, if we don't follow you, if mostly you post like family pictures or selfies or things that aren't jewelry related. And also, if you post nothing, we don't follow blank, or very rarely do we follow blank profiles, because that is not good for the algorithm. We have heard that. So if you have a blank and you follow us and we don't follow back, that's why. Because we have been told that following blank profiles, people who don't post actively, can actually hurt our our spread. So we try and stay away from that. Um, let's see here. Ba, ba, ba. Let me see where I was in my comments. Sorry, I have to do the squinting or the eyes as we get older, right? Um, let's see. Leslie says, I never say I'm bored. The last time I said that, my mom made me clean the basement. Yeah, right. Um, I do have a habit of sometimes saying that, but um, I very rarely am actually bored. Um, I don't have time to be bored usually. If I'm bored, I'm usually saying that in a good way, like, oh, thank goodness I'm so bored right now. I'm so thankful for this boring time right now. Boring has turned into be a good thing in my busy life. Susan says I seldom get bored. Marion says books are a remedy for boredom. And you know what? They have actually found that with all the scrolling we do and all the, the technology, boredom is a good thing. Scientifically, for your brain, boring is a good thing. When you are bored, your brain builds up dopamine. Um, and when you scroll and you hit all these dopamine things that we do these days, we get such easy hits of dopamine. Sometimes we deplete our dopamine stores, and being bored. And that's why they sometimes tell you like meditate, just sit and reading is a thing that helps restore that because it's a focused thing. Anything that you do, this is what I've read. So I am not a doctor, I am not a psychologist, but from what I've read and understand, anything that you do that is long form content that creates focus, like reading, watching a long movie, um, even watching TV shows that are more than like 15, 20 minutes long, um, and being bored, meditating, they all help your body restore your dopamine that has probably been depleted from scrolling and little games we play and all that stuff. Creating jewelry is one of those things that can help you restore your dopamine and restore your brain balance of all of that because it focuses you in and you get into that kind of flow state sometimes while you're creating and everything else goes away, and that's why it's good for you. um, so being bored, not only do I think of it as a good thing these days because it allows me time to just be and not, which is rare, but is actually good for our brains. Um, and that all goes back to kind of sometimes the hunt. In the past and for tens, if not hundreds of thousands of years, humans hunted and gathered, and so your entire day may be spent just in the zone, hunting and gathering, chasing an animal or hunting berries, gathering berries. Um, and so our brains were meant like that. You'd have that release of dopamine when you caught the animal or, um, when it finally happened, but you would spend most of the day like hunting, chasing, um, you know, and that part of your day would build up the dopamine, and you would have this one release, which hopefully did not tax it all out, right? You'd have extra, and so now we're kind of backwards. Now we release it by scrolling and playing little games and doing all the things we do, but we don't have that any of that long extended time of focusing in on any one thing. So boredom is actually not that you would be bored while you were hunting and gathering, but you might be. You weren't like doing other things. You were just focused on that. And so that kind of attention can actually help you. So how about that? So be bored once in a while, everybody. Allow yourselves that luxury. Allow your brain that rest. Um, let's see here. Let's see. Dennis says, I've been reading some, but my eyes get so tired. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Take a nap, right? If your eyes are tired, take a nap. I know it's easier said than done. I don't get naps either. Um, Harry says, I am too busy making to be bored. I made a ritual cup today, a goblet with 3 angels around the cup. Nice. Um, Kimberly says, I tend to post more of my jewelry makes. Good. I like that. I like to see it. Dennis says, I have plenty to do, lots of stuff to put away, still not sure where to put everything. That's the hard part, right? Moving into a different house that doesn't have the same features that your house had, or the furniture doesn't fit the same way, or you don't have enough furniture sometimes, depending on what size you're going from and to. It's hard. It's hard to find a place for things. It's hard to feel comfortable with things. Um, I'm one of those people, I put something somewhere, and even if it's not comfortable, I hate to move it because then it's just work to move things around. Um, but it is important that as you continue on, right, you're happy and comfortable inside your home. So hopefully you find places to put things, and hopefully it's fun. I know moving is not fun in general, at least we make it not fun, but um, you know, I think trying to make the best of every situation if you can, and trying to, you're starting a new thing, and hopefully it can be a great thing, and have fun arranging things and working with your husband to do that. And it's something you get to do together. So, hopefully you can do that. Um Marianne says, considering an old saying, may you live in interesting times, is a curse. Right. Yes, yes. Um, Susan says, I'm curious about everything, so I'm seldomly bored. Get that. Um, Danette says, hard to put things away when you move in with someone who has a ton of stuff also. Donated lots to Salvation Army. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. But you're doing a good thing, and you're helping somebody who needs it. And I know it's a change, and probably a lot of it may not feel fair, but um, hopefully you can make the best of it and look at the good things. Look at the good things that you're going to be able to do together and be together and spend time together. Um, I know that's hard sometimes, but yeah, we can either look at the bad or we can look at the good. And I look at the bad a lot, and I'm trying to change that. Um, I even hate to say that because I feel like the more that you say things like that, the more it continues to happen. So I'm trying to look at the good things, and let things that look bad to me and all that, um, let it up to the universe to decide. Um, I think our brains weren't meant to do everything, and whether you believe in a god or a spirit or the universe, or whatever you believe, um, I don't think our minds were meant to handle every single thing and try to decide and I'm trying to learn that with my anxiety, is like some things are just not up to me, and just let it up to the universe to help it out. I mean, that's what the whole thing of prayer is meant to be, right? It's asking whatever you believe in for help, and hoping that that will come through. Danette says, you hit the nail on the head. A lot of it doesn't feel fair. Compromise. Yeah, you have to, right? But there are good things to come out of it, I'm sure. I'm sure. And, things are things. We can let go of things, but um, we take care of the people in our lives, right? Try and do our best to take care of the people in our lives. Um, and you're doing that, right? So that's a good thing. Amanda's here. Hello, Amanda. Thanks for joining us. Um, yeah, so my day has been my day has not been too busy. I was not feeling great last night, as you probably know if you watched. I started getting some pains in my head, and it turned into a little bit of a headache. So we watched some TV after we ate, and I went to bed fairly early for me, and I slept a long time. I slept in a lot because I had a bit of a headache throughout the morning, and then the cats were like trying to come in and out and in and out and in and out of the bedroom. Um, so I was woken up a number of times. So my day got started pretty late, but I kind of needed it. You know, we don't have a weekend. I don't have a single day where I'm not doing work. We work 7 days a week. Um, and usually those days are, 12 to 16-hour days. And like when I come home, even when I go to the store, even those evenings, like Friday evening, we do a live. Saturday evening is the one evening that we don't that I don't have something scheduled. Um, so that is really like the only day, the evening of Saturday. Sometimes I get off, but that's also when we do some of our housework. um, and then Sunday, I've been doing D-stashes in the evenings after work. So even those days that, I go to the store, sometimes that I thought in my head when we first scheduled all this out, when we moved to Johnstown, that those evenings would be a little bit more free, but they're not. So I think sometimes I overdo it. And I think that was just my body saying, you need to really slow down a little bit. Um, I started to feel my heart beating a little fast last night, um, and started getting a headache. So I was like, I need to just chill out. So I slept in today, and I slept in quite a bit until Barnaby, he was in with me, and he just started sitting like on top of me and looking at me, like trying to wake me up. And I kind of ignored him, and I ended up going back to sleep. And then at one point, he's like laying there, and I'm dreaming that I'm like being cut in my arm. Like I have a really painful, sharp, something's cutting me. And I wake up, and it's him. He's pushing his little fingernails, his little claws into my arm. Um, and so I was like, okay, this means that it's time for me to get up. So that's what I did. I finally got up, but it was late. And then I kind of moseyed around a little bit. I took some pills for the headache and took my normal medications and ate some of the apple cake that Andrew made the other night, and started just kind of getting my day started, without doing too much. And then I started identifying things for the live here. So it was, yeah. Sue says, "Sounds seemed like you needed rest." Definitely, definitely did. Definitely did. How are you all doing out there? How's your afternoon going? Are you feeling okay? We know Danette is stressed. How's everybody else? Hopefully you're all not doing too badly. For those of you who weren't watching yesterday, we did hear from Diane after her hip surgery. So she's up and about, and she popped in just a little bit to let us know that she is up and around a little bit. So that was great to hear from her. I don't know if she's watching now or not, but I wanted you all to know because I know a lot of you have been concerned and just asking, and we've been talking about it. So we did hear from her, and that was good. Um, and so happy to report that. Marion says you should take at least one day a month for reset. Yes, I probably should. It's hard for us to do, um, but probably should. I try to take Saturday nights, and sometimes we get into work talk on Saturday nights, but a lot of times, even Andrew, we just kind of sit, we eat dinner, we watch some TV, and we kind of just binge stuff and do that. Um, so Saturday night is kind of my reset night. Um, and it's kind of nice because I know going into Sunday, the banks are generally closed on Sunday. So we don't have a lot of transactions going through that I have to track or keep track of, and all that stuff. So it makes it easier on my brain to just kind of start resting that evening. And then I can kind of get into Sunday, and I've been thinking about having shorter hours at the shop on Sundays, even if it's just like noon to 5 instead of 11 to 6, which would help out a little bit too, I think. But I hesitate to do that because it's easy for people to remember one time, especially since we're only open 3 days a week rather than two different times in 3 days. So we'll see. Susie says you did a lot of shoveling snow last week. I did. Was that last week? or is that the week? I don't. Everything is running together for me. I did a lot of show snoveling, snow shoveling, whenever that was. Yes, um, and that was difficult on my body. I will say, I was feeling it more often than I normally do. Uh, but I also, like I said, I didn't go running at all this summer, which I really missed that. In the spring, summer, fall, even, I don't think I did any running. Um, and normally I try to go out and go running and build up stamina that way, and I did not. So I was feeling that, and because I had no kind of aerobic exercises, and um, I definitely am, waiting for it to warm up so that I can go running because I definitely want to get back to it because I feel like it helps. Susie also says glad Diane or happy Diane is doing well. Yes. She seems to be, she didn't say much, but she did say that she's up and around a little bit. So that's good. Um, let's see here. Susan says nothing remarkable here, just bills, lunch, laundry, and cats. Cats are good. Cats are good. Even though they were a little bit annoying today. Uh, I told them they were being annoying, and then I also told them that I would rather have them be annoying than not have them. So there's always that, right? Um, let's see here. Leslie says I'm just beating my latest work project. Nice. Len says better today than yesterday. Just because people want me to hurry doesn't mean I have to. No, no. Um, that's the thing. People and their expectations of us. I fall into that quite a bit. I'm very much a people pleaser, and I always have been. And I think that comes from my childhood trauma, trying to be the good kid so that hopefully, bad things wouldn't happen, or, you know, uh, family members wouldn't do the things they would sometimes do. And it, it, it also is one of those things that just keeps the peace, right? I don't have to have any angry discussions with people. I don't have to get into fights with people. The only time that fighting or anything ever happened in my childhood was during very bad times. We were not a family that just like yelled to express things. Some families are like that, and that's just the normal way. And I think that can be healthy. I don't think that needs to be a bad thing. But when it was our family, they were very traumatic times. And so I people please a lot just so that I don't have to go into that state because that state brings out a lot of anxiety in me, when really in the end probably would be more of a release of anxiety than the anxiety I sometimes keep from pleasing people. So there is that, and as I'm getting older, I'm realizing these things, and some of it's starting to change, which is kind of nice. And I'm realizing that I don't have to do the things that I assume other people want me to do. Sometimes I don't even know. I just assume they want me to do things. Um, when really they may have no assumptions at all about what they want from me. Um, so yeah, I don't know. But I do know that yes, you don't have to do things just because other people expect it. You do things on your own time, in your own way. Um, yeah, yeah. And that's what I'm learning as I get older and as I realize that my needs matter, right? I think a lot of us, I shouldn't speak for a lot of people, but I do think a lot of people I've known put the needs of others before their own. I can definitely fall into that. I will jump up and help somebody else before I try and do something for myself. And that's nice in a lot of ways, but sometimes it becomes detrimental, and I have to be careful of that. So yeah, no, you don't have to hurry at all, right? You don't have to do anything that anybody else expects, um, unless it's legal stuff, right? Don't do illegal stuff, maybe. Um, even sometimes, right? I don't know. Um, let's see here. Marianne says, good, Len, right? Norma's here. Hello, Norma. Thanks for joining us. Susan says, Len, that is so true. Amanda says, I made dinner really early, but my appointment got canceled, so I can rest a bit now. That's nice, right? I like when that happens. I mean, maybe it's not good that it got canceled. I don't know. But I like when time is made for us, right? We don't have to make that time. And a lot of times when that happens, um, for me, it's hard to fill that time. So I have nothing to do but just kind of relax. So it's kind of good when that happens for me. I mean, I can always do something, but sometimes it doesn't quite fit, you know, and so you get to relax. Susan says, I saw a video of a black bear shoveling snow. AI, obviously. Wish I could hire that bear after a big snow. I bet, right? I bet. Um, Norma says, Pepper was trying to stand in my lap and drink my coffee today. This is new. Yeah, coffee is a wild one, right? Coffee is a wild one for cats. I don't think our cats have any affinity toward coffee. I guess it depends what you put in it. If you put milk in your coffee, maybe they smell that dairy, that wonderful dairy. Um, Mary has this time to work on outgrowing that way. I know, right? I'm trying. Um, Danette says we're supposed to get 1 to 3 inches of snow Friday evening, Friday night. I have not heard that, and I just looked at my forecast, and I didn't see snow. Oh, I guess I do. It is there now. Refresh. Yeah, Friday to Saturday. Oh well, 1 to 3 inches. That's nothing. It's gonna be in the 20s. That's fine. It's gonna drop to 0 on Sunday though. Sunday, price Saturday to Sunday, 0 to 18. That'll be a little cold, but then it's going up to 32. No problem. We can handle that. It's gonna melt away anyway because it's gonna be 40 the next day or two. Fine. It'll be fine. Um, Amanda says, I had a lady give me quite the look for driving just under the speed limit on a snowy road, reminding me I don't have to hurry to suit anybody else, especially when safety is concerned. That happens to me all the time. Um, I am one of those people, I generally drive the speed limit. I never used to when I was young, really did not. Um, I once got a speeding ticket for going about 30 miles above the speed limit. um, it was not an inexpensive ticket. But nowadays, I pretty much drive the speed limit. The looks I get and the number of people who pass me for driving the speed limit um, in any condition is wild to me, but also in bad conditions. Um, what I kind of get joy from is when, like, a big truck, it's usually always a white truck, it's some kind of big white truck, always, almost always. Um, when they're like have their high beams on behind you and then they're right up on you and then they finally decide to pass. It's like they would rather, I feel like some of them would rather stay right on you with their high beams on, just instead of passing, like just pass, go. Sometimes I slow down for them and they still don't go. But when they do go and then they like fishtail because they hit a patch of ice or something, that's a little bit of joy for me. I hate to be like that sometimes, but I do laugh. um, and so that's happened a number of times here recently. And uh, it brings a little bit of joy to my heart. And then they slow way down, and then you're like, then they're going slower than what you were going because I have better tires on my car now. And I can go a little faster. So then I pass them. That's not happened very often, but it's happened like once this year, and that was kind of really joyful. Um, let's see here. Marion says exactly, Amanda. Um, Amanda says, I have inducted myself into the people can wait or go around club. Yep, I am pretty much there. Um, I still I still can't get myself to be the I'm going to pull over because these people won't go around me club. I've done that once or twice, usually when Andrew's in the car, because it makes him nervous or wild in his head if I don't. Um, but when I'm by myself, I will slow down quite a bit, but if they still won't go around, um, it does make me a little bit crazy, and I should just pull over. But it's like, but then there's part of me that doesn't want to give that to them, right? Like if you can't just go around, then you don't deserve to go around. But why are you right up on me? Like, so that one's a little bit hard for me still. Susan says, Amanda, especially with the snow, people have no concept of how to drive during snowy weather. Nope, they don't. Not at all. Um, especially at the very start of snowy weather. Um, people are getting a little bit better with it, but they still, like, I'm going usually, in a 55, I'll go 45, 50 with bad weather because we get a lot of snow gusts and we're by a lot of empty fields and there are still deer running around. And so I'm not going to go much above 45 generally if it looks, if the roads aren't clear. Um, if the roads are clear, I'm fine. But if there's any snow on the road or something, 45 to 50 is the most I'm going to go. And people act like you are going 25, and I don't get it. Um, this also happened the other night. I was doing that, and somebody went right around me and then immediately had to slam on their brakes because there was a deer that jumped out in front of them. Um, and I had seen the deer, which is why I was driving slower because I saw it in the field. I saw it in the field starting to head toward the road from quite a ways back. And so I was driving slow because I knew what was happening. And they came flying around me. And I was just like praying for the deer. Um, and then they had to slam on their brakes. And then they were like, oh, then they went slow the whole way. Um, it's just like people just don't think or look or pay attention unless it's like right there. Um, let's see here. Marion says, I just laugh at the people who just have to pass to get to the red light sooner. Instant karma. I know, right? Get to the red light, get to the deer. Um, I don't get to the ice patch. Yeah. Susan says, me too, Marianne. Amanda says, Susan, there have been way too many car accidents the past few weeks. You would think people would slow down a bit, right? Susan says, Bear, your payment is in honey, right? Um, Len says, making a PB&J sandwich whilst listening. That's good. I did not. I had some cake, and my stomach's growling right now because I was going to eat a salad before this, and I did not get to do that. So I'm a little bit hungry, um, and I got to get. We're going to get going here soon with the show because this is my short day. I always forget that I can't talk too long because I also have to get ready for my class. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue making pendants in my class today. That's what I'm going to do. I've been making pendants. I'm going to continue making pendants. Susan says, also, at least here, the traffic cops are more visible towards the end of the month. Speeding tickets can get spent speedy in a hurry. Yeah, they're always out. End of the month and very beginning of the month, we see them often here. I often see them more at the end of the month. Andrew often sees them toward the beginning of the month. So I know they're out both times, right at the end and right at the beginning. Norma says, I have an appointment to get new front tires. Both tires just have a slow leak, which has been so stressful, especially combined with the road conditions this winter. It is stressful, right? When we first moved back here, my mom had a car that she gave us that ran really well, but the tires, it was just like constant issues with the tires. I would have to, every time I'd stop to get gas, I had to fill up the tires. A lot of times I would just stop at the gas stations just to fill up the tires. And it was just because of a slow leak, but you had to keep an eye on it because you never knew when things were going to happen or not. And sometimes in the winter, um, one of the stems didn't have the cover for the valve stem, and it would ice over. And then sometimes I had a really hard time getting air in the tire, which was terrible. So yeah, I feel you, Norma. I hope you get those tires replaced right quick. Amanda says, my willows are completely caked with super hard ice. It's so annoying. Yeah, that's hard too because that can wear down your tires, right? If it touches your tires, you're burning rubber against that ice. So I try and kick ours off. I know we have some in ours, but it's not it's not up to the tire level yet, but try to kick that stuff off as early as possible. Leslie said I had a few people speed around me on the New Jersey, is it Turnpike, and get clocked by a stadium. I love it. I know, right? I no longer, like when I was young, I would flash the head beams or the headlights to let people know there was a cop sitting. Or I don't do that anymore. Not one bit. I'm like, please go get pulled over. If you're speeding, go ahead, get pulled over. I know maybe that's mean, but um, oh, I think my computer just went dead. Let me plug it in so I can still see your comments. I thought it had a lot of battery left. Guess not. Unless something just happened and didn't like my talk. Come on. Normally when there it goes. Yep, battery was dead. Anyway, I was just about to read a comment. Technology. I don't have my desktop up and running because it was taking a while. So I have my laptop and I didn't realize the battery, I checked it before. There we go. Amanda says, yesterday, 3 turkeys were on the road causing a huge ruckus. They were lunging at cars. They were reconnected. They were lunging at cars, going towards the curb, and then turning around and angrily gobbling. That's kind of cute, but unfortunately, I think a lot of people here would just have hit them. There was a very large bird of prey in the middle of the road the other day on the other lane that I was coming from. So it was over on the other lane, and they were eating something that died in the road. And um, I passed it, and then I watched another car, a white truck, actually it was a white Jeep, I think in this case, and I saw them going really fast toward it. So I flashed my lights to let them know because the bird was moving, but it was also a very large bird. So at the speed the car was going, I'm like, you're going to hit this bird if it doesn't like move right away. And it wasn't doing that. Um, so I watched this car. The car did not even hit its brakes. It just kept going. Thankfully, the bird got out of the way just in time. But yeah, they didn't even try to slow down, which really annoys me. Like I know, the bird's in the middle of the road, but give it some grace. It's cleaning up the road. It's trying to eat in the middle of this hard winter. Let it let it do its thing, right? Give it a little bit of extra time to fly away. Um, I know it's going to come back, but don't like try to ram right into it. People it disgusts me actually, to be 100% honest. That kind of stuff disgusts me. Um, I check next week's for my area, says Susan. Clutch my pearls will hit 62 Monday and Tuesday. Whew, lucky you. Lucky you. That's awesome. We are not getting anywhere near that. Maybe that'll come for us the next week because I can't see the next week's forecast, but all the way through next Friday, we are not going to get higher than about 40. Um, Susan says, I like the snow when it first falls, assuming I don't have to go anywhere. It's so peaceful, but now it's getting dirty in the melting phase. I wish it would melt, right? Marion says it's one of the reasons I own a small compressor for the tires. Yeah, we have one of those now that we do keep in our car. It's a jump starter, so it can jump start the battery, and it also has a small compressor built in, and also has like USB slots and a plug, um, just in case you get stranded or something happens. You have something to work with. Um, Len says some states it's illegal to flash lights. Of course it is. I'm sure it's illegal in most states to flash lights, but people do it. They always do it, and people do it here. I know they do it here. But I'm never going above the speed limit generally, so I have nothing to worry about 90% of the 99% of the time. Um, but yeah. Um, and when I flash my lights, usually I'll do it for animals on the road, and I don't flash the high beams. I turn on and off um, my fog lights because our fog lamps are always running, and because it helps me see the road. But I will flash just those bottom fog lamps so that I'm not trying to blind people with my actual, because our lights don't actually shut off. They're daytime running lamps. So I would have to flash high beams, and I don't like doing that to people. So I turn on and off my fog lamps, which I think is a lot better and a lot easier on people's eyes than the big flashing lights. Um, but yeah, probably in a lot of states it's illegal to flash lights, but that has never stopped anyone from doing that. And I have never actually heard of anyone, to be honest, growing up here most of my life. Um, I've never heard of anyone getting pulled over for flashing their lights, unless it was specifically caught because they were flashing for a police stop, maybe. But I don't, even then, um, it's kind of a hard thing to prove. Um, Amanda says, thankfully, people were stopping and waiting. That's good. That's good because around here, like I said, just the other day, I watched. They were not going to stop for that bird. And it was a bit. It was big. It was like a vulture, like a turkey vulture or something. But they weren't slowing down. Brakes didn't even come on. Um, Susan says, "I wish our local groundhogs would give a forecast for this area. I don't care for Phil's, right?" Um, let's see. Yeah, we don't. Whereton Willie predicted an early spring. I don't know who that is, but I know our groundhog did not predict an early spring, right? Um, at least that's what I've heard. I've just heard that from other people because I've not actually watched the prediction or looked for the prediction. But I'm assuming because no one's liking the prediction, I'm assuming he did not call for an early spring. Um, Leslie says, I once straddled two lanes that a fox crossed the road. Oh, yeah. Yep. Um, yeah, I will try my best to I'll turn on my flashers, my hazard lights. I will move slightly into the other lane a little bit sometimes if I see something trying to cross. Um, I do my best to help the animals and things get across the road. It's not their fault we put our roads in their land, right? Um, our nutrient prediction was for more winter, says Suzanne. Hello, Suzanne. Yeah, we've got more winter coming, right? Um, Martin Willie is a groundhog. Early spring never happens here. Oh, Mary says Balzac Billy did not predict an early spring. Such weird names, right? Such weird names. Um, anyway, yes. Uh, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with spring, summer. I don't mind so much. I would like to have a nice early spring. Maybe I could actually get into um, running a little bit again. I hate when our spring and falls are cut short. That's the thing that bothers me. When it goes right into summer, like we have like a week of spring and then it turns 90 and the humidity goes up to 130%, all that wonderful stuff. Um, that's what I hate. Um, and then whenever we have heat well into the end of summer and then cold. Um, as long as we get a spring and a fall, I'm pretty happy. And hopefully we will get some spring weather and fall weather. I love the change of seasons. And when it just jumps from one to the other, it's a little bit difficult for me, especially since it's been so cold this winter. Jumping into a hot summer is not going to be easy. I will need time to adapt for sure. I think most of us will. Sue says, I've heard of land bridges that help wildlife cross safely. Yeah, a few places have those. Was it in Canada that they created some of those? I think some states have tried to do it here too. They create these large land bridges that cars drive under, but wildlife can go on top of. And I wish more people cared about the wildlife enough to make our states do that. Um, that would take, because I know it's not inexpensive, and the maintenance of that probably is even harder because you're maintaining under bridges then instead of just maintaining roads. But I really wish they would do that because I would love to see, like, be driving by and see wildlife crossing over a bridge instead of having to be hit on the road. And I wish we would take more care of wildlife and things like that in general. I wish we'd have more compassion for the animals around us. Leslie says at least 4 states have a few. That's good. That's good. Susan says we had a super warm fall, 80 degrees into mid-November. Then it got very cold very quickly. That seesaw change is hard on my system. Yeah, it's hard on everybody, right? Our bodies are not adapted for that. Um, it makes it very difficult to function for me. Um, I'm finally adjusting a little bit to the cold. Like right now, I don't feel that cold, and that's because we just had negative degree temperatures, and now these positive numbers don't feel that bad. Um, but I don't like those extremes to get to that place. So hopefully we'll have a nice spring where we watch things bloom and it takes its time, and we'll go into a nice warm but not humid summer. That would be lovely. I don't want humidity. And then it'll start going into fall and it'll be so nice, and the trees will change and be pretty colors. Like, I feel like I need that. I need nature with everything that's going on in the world. I at least need nature to give us some goodness. Not that we deserve it the way we treat nature, but um, I would hope that maybe we'll get some goodness this year out of nature. That would be lovely. All right, let's get this show started so that I have time to get ready for my pottery class. I should be getting stuff back in my pottery class, I hope. So that's exciting to me. Because I've been testing some stuff and I want to see how it goes. And then I'm working on ceramic pendants. So I don't know what I'm going to put on my pendants yet, but I'm playing with pendants. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Um, Susan says, I hate humidity. I don't like extreme cold either, but humidity is just gross. Yes. I've always said I will take the cold over the humidity. I don't know if I still believe that to myself. As I get older, the cold does get harder. Because as a kid, we went out and played in the cold. You bundled up and it was fun. Like you could have fun outside in the snow. I don't have so much fun outside in the snow anymore. But I also don't have fun outside in the humidity where I am pretty much drenched as soon as I walk out the door. So that's not fun either. Either one, I'll pass. Let's just take some acceptable cold winter and acceptable warm summer. That's perfect, right? Although I am hoping that some of the tick population, I don't like to hope for things to die, but um, I am hoping the ticks are better because we have had such a cold winter. We've not had winters like this in a long time, and the cold winter does help to control various insect and tick populations and things like that. Um, because it helps kill them while they're underground if the ground freezes cold enough, and it keeps back that population. So while I hope that the possums still have enough to eat, I also hope that we get rid of some of the ticks and stuff because they're always out around here. I've been bitten by a few. I've had to go on antibiotics because of some, and because of Lyme and all that. And it's not fun. It's not good. And we never worried about ticks growing up, and I think that's because they weren't around as much because we had such cold, long winters. So I'm hoping that this winter does help with that. Um, Amanda says, you have to keep moving to stay warm, and doing something fun helps. Yes, for sure. Marion says, definitely cold over humidity for me. Yeah, I think I'm still on that side of things, but only because I don't have to be out in the cold. If I had to be out in the cold or out in the humidity, I don't know. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. I have a hard time breathing in the humidity though. It does make it harder for me to breathe, I feel like. So that's no good. That's a hard time. Hard times. Um, and I just feel disgusting and I'm constantly wet because I sweat a lot. Um, and I don't like that. I don't like when my clothes are drenched and I have to go somewhere. And I know I shouldn't care what people think, but I hate walking into a place like completely like drenched from just like walking from their parking lot into the building because that happens to me. Um, because usually our air conditioning in the car is not great, so I'm already hot in the car, and then I walk into the parking lot and I'm like drenched. I'm getting over it. Again, worrying less about what people think because I've realized a lot of people walk around wet in the summer. Like it's not just me, especially when it's humid like that. But um, it's still a hard thing. Presentation is one of those things that I'm trying to get over a little bit. Not too much. I don't want to, don't let yourself go, right? I don't know. Maybe it's best to let yourself go sometimes. Um, Susan says, my sister-in-law had an advanced case of Lyme disease. It was miserable for her. Yeah, I never want to get that. I've known way too many people who have had um, Lyme disease that was caught very late, not caught for years, and the amount of problems it caused them ongoing is horrendous. So every time I get bit by a tick, I send it away for testing. Um, and if it comes back, then I ask, only one has ever come back positive for it, which was good. But I did ask my doctor right away for antibiotics. And I don't like to take antibiotics. I'm not one of those people that some people take antibiotics for almost everything. Like as soon as they get sick, take some antibiotics. I am not like that. I don't want to, create those super bugs. I mean, do what your doctor tells you to do, but um, I tend to not do that if I don't have to. And so I haven't been on antibiotics in quite some time, but I still took them for that, for sure. Um, they also make me dizzy a lot of times, so I try not to take antibiotics for that reason. They do end up making me dizzy within a few days of taking them, and you have to take them for like 2 weeks when you get a tick bite, I think it was. So it's hard for me. Anyway, let's get started with this show. How about it? Let me flip the camera around here. Um, I hope your sister-in-law recovered. I know some people do recover, and some people live with things that have happened their whole life. So I hope it was something that was recoverable for her, Susan. Um, I'm going to take a drink real quick. Okay, I've got a nice mix of things, I think, today. I'm going to start out. We've shown these, I think, just once before. And if you missed that show, you missed them. So I'm going to show these again. These are some little charms that we have. And let me see here. Uh, I'm going to call these PTR lots today. PTR. So I've never used that before. So PTR lots. And I'm going to put up the banner in case there's anybody new. If you'd like to purchase from this video, take down that lot number that we give you. Send it to us in the subject line of an email to info@allegorygallery.com. If you want more than one, if we have more than one, you just put ×2, ×3. It's first come, first serve. And we will, that's it. Send us an email if you want it. If you send us an email, you're promising you'll take it. We'll send you an invoice probably when I get home from my pottery class today. This is going to be $2.95. There's only one of these left. And this one is, I think there's only one of these left. Let me check. Whoa. Don't drop them all on the ground. Let me make sure I'm right on this. Because I may have taken one master away from the rest of the bunch. Sorry, y'all. Yep, so there's only one of this particular one that I see. It is $2.95. And this is a gold-plated bee charm. And it's over stainless steel. One of them available, $2.95. And let's see. It's very strange. Just people like the gold ones. So you only have the one of those. And I also have that at P. Oops. That's not a P. PTR2, $2.55 each. I have 4 of these available. Oops. And this is the stainless silver unplated, just in the raw silver form of the bee. And to size these for you, these are approximately 20 millimeters by 12, 20 by 12. And that's the silver one. There are 4 of those available, PTR2. We have sold out on PTR1. Thank you so much. Multiple people tried for that, but I just had the one. If I find more, I will add to that, but I'm pretty sure I'm going through my stack here. I'm pretty sure I only have the one. All right, so let me put this up here too. That's number 2. Marion says there are 7 wildlife overpasses in Banff National Park. Nice. See, I like that. I wish more places would do that. Take care of our animal neighbors. We've sold 2 of the PTR2s, so there are 2 still available. Thank you, thank you. PTR3. These are $2.55 each as well, and I have 4 of them available. These are butterflies. This is or moths. I think these are moths. I'm going to call them moths. There are 4 of these available. This is the silver color moth. Love this design. Really pretty. Kind of metal cutout, stainless steel. 24 by about 12.5 millimeters. And then I have PTR4. These are $2.95 each. I've got 2 of the gold moth. So this is the gold plated, and it's an 18 karat gold plating over the stainless steel. Angela's here. Hello, Angela. It's out and about. Says, love the show. Thank you so much. Glad you're here. All right, so that is that one, PTR4, the gold plated, 18 karat gold plated over stainless steel. We've sold one of the two of those just now. Thank you so much. We've still got one of those available. And let me see. Got 2, 4, 5, 6. 2, 4, 5, 6. Okay. This is PTR5. These are $2.35 each, and there are 6 of these available. These are a 14 karat gold plated Tree of Life charm, stainless steel. Little beautiful Tree of Life charm, 14 karat gold plated, stainless steel. And there's a nice definition in that for as small as that little charm is. These are about 8 millimeters by 10 with the bail, 8 by 10 millimeters. Beautiful little charm, PTR5, $2.35 each. That barely looks like a 5. 35 cents each. 6 of those available. PTR5. Let's see here. These are really cute. PTR6, $2.75 each. I've got 2 of these available. PTR6. These are 14 karat gold, enameled, which I believe this is a soft enamel. Stainless steel, strawberry charm. How cute is that? And they are the 14 karat gold plated, stainless steel with a soft enamel. 2 of those available, $2.75 each. Super dang cute. Now, PTR7. These are $2.50 each, and I've got 5 of the silver version of that strawberry. So this is the stainless steel in silver for the strawberry. And they're $2.50 each. And those strawberries are approximately 7 millimeters by 12 millimeters. 7 by 12. Move these up a little bit. I love the cute little fruits. That would go, I didn't have these when I made my citrus bracelet, but I could have thrown some fruits on there. That would have been fun, I think, anyway. So we sold 2 of the 7s. Thank you so much. That's the silver one. And let me see, what do I have? I just have the one of these left. Looks like I just have the one of these left. These must have been very popular the first time around. PTR8, $2.50, and I just have the one. This is the natural silver stainless enameled, soft enameled cherries. Super cute, really well done. And cherries, there's only one, $2.50. They are about 12.5 millimeters by 14.5 millimeters. One of those available. They're really nice. I like them a lot. I love these little strawberries and cherries. Okay. And then let's see which ones are which. I have 4 of these. PTR9. And these are $2.55 each. These are stainless steel. Oops. Bee charms. This time in a more solid charm than like the first one. They are one-sided technically, but you can see things on the other side, but it's an impression instead of a push through. Like they're indented through, which are it's really nice. These are about 13.5 by 16.5 millimeters for those, and there are 4 of those available. And then PTR10. I have 2 of these at $3.05 each. This is the gold version. PTR10, gold version of the bee. There are only 2 of them available. And this is 18 karat. 18 karat gold on those over stainless. And 2 of those available in gold. Same size as the silver. Let's see here. I think we'll do 2 more of these charms, and then we'll move on to some of the other stuff. PTR 11, $2.55 each. And these are a scarab in silver. Scarab in silver. And that's the plain stainless. $2.55 each. 3 of those available. And these are 13.5 by 17 millimeters. 13.5 by 17 millimeters. Kimberly says, you are killing me. I know you like the bugs. I know you like them. I like the bugs too. That's why we get bugs, because Andrew and I both like the bugs. Let's see here. This one is PTR12, $3.05 each. And there are 4 of these left. And these are the 18 karat gold plated scarabs over stainless. PTR 12. Look at that, how pretty that gold is. 18 karat gold plated. $3.05 each only. This is all done before metal prices went up, so that's probably worth more now, even with the gold plating. Let's see here. I'm just gonna check my junk. I haven't checked my junk in a little bit. Make sure nobody's going to junk. Go. All right. Suzanne says, I have the gold scarab. Very nice. They are. They're really pretty. Thank you for saying so. All right. I just sold a bunch more of some of these. I'm going to start putting these away. And let's see here. Put one away already. This is bag for 2. Let me get these in the right bags. Nope. Nope, that's 3. That's not 2. That's 2. There we go. Okay. It's 2. And we have 3. Trying to get these back in so they're not difficult for me to work on later. And then this is 4. So sorry, it's taking a little bit of time, but we'll get there. This is 4, 5. So do any of y'all have plans for the rest of the day? Have you done anything yet today? I'm just going to pottery, and then I'll be invoicing and stuff, I think, after. We'll see. I might get invoicing done before I leave. Sometimes I'm able to, sometimes I can't. It depends how long we go. I talked a lot in the beginning of this one. Normally I shorten it for Wednesdays, but we chit-chatted a lot, so I'll probably invoice when I get back. But I'm excited to see. Suzanne, did you go for your tattoo today? Was that today? How did that go if you went? Suzanne says, teaching, got my tattoo. Nice. I know you do teachings on Wednesdays. Yeah. I wasn't sure if you were teaching. I didn't know if you could get a tattoo and then just go teaching or not. I don't know how all that works. Never had a tattoo. Let's move these up. These little bees and scarabs. Although I think I did sell, let's see here. I did sell all of 10. So I'm going to take 10 away. Len says, it's already dark. I'm not going anywhere. It's dark for you? It is beautiful and sunny here. It's sad that it's dark for you. Darian says, I should unbox my AG shipment. You didn't unbox it yet? What? Amanda says, I'm going to write out some new recipes I tried so I don't lose them. Oh, nice. I have to open things right away. I love getting things and opening them. I don't get very much very often. What did I do? I put the paper in this, but didn't put the actual. What is happening to me right now? Yeah, I put the paper in here, but didn't put the actual charm in here. Not apart. Marion says, dark already, Len. That's sad face. Right? Vicky says, I'm at work contributing to my ultimate demise. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, let's see here. We have 1 of 11 left. We have 2 of 12 left. And we have 2 of 9 left. Okay. P, T, R. Whoa, 13. Let's see here. Now, pull up my bag of goodies. I started separating for this. These are $2 each. And I have 7 of these. These are really high-end fluorite smooth rounds. Marion says, Vicky, now that's really sad, right? And says, Marion, I always have to open mine right away, even when it interrupts something else. No willpower and happy now. I know, right? Glenn says, yep, no sun, very cloudy. That sucks. We're nice and sunny here at least. It's cold, but at least we're sunny. These are even hard to show you because they change color in my hand. But these are really high-end, nice fluorite smooth rondelles. And there are green, mostly green. There are 2 purple. And they are $2 each. They came from a very expensive strand. They are $2 each, 7 of them available. Beautiful little beads. Beautiful. And then PTR 14. I have 7 of these. They are $3 each. These are a jade, dyed jade pendant. Beautiful dyed jade. I love this deep red, kind of cranberry color. Really pretty. These are big pendants. Oh, I didn't give you the size on these. The smooth rondelles are about 12 millimeters. And these are 30 by 40. 30 by 40 millimeters. Vicky says, Marianne, my boss is retiring soon, which means I'll be retiring sooner than I had hoped. Oh, that's hard. That is very hard when that happens. Yeah, I feel for you on that one. All right, these are $2 each. And I don't know how many I have. Let me see. There's about 19 of them or 18. I'm going to put 18 just to be sure. And these are pink opal. These are pink opal nuggets, large nuggets. And they are drilled. Each one is different than the other, right? And we're doing them at $2 a stone. And there's about 18 of them available. We were selling these by the whole strand, and I technically have another strand. If we sell even more than those, you can get, I have more that I can open up, but I think 18 to start will be good on those. I don't know if we'll sell them. Some people really like the pink opal, though. I do. I think it's really pretty. I know you need better light than that to see them, though. They have such great color in those. Let's see here. Marion says, I've been known to wait a day or two. I do have one package that uh, got from Joe McKay that I haven't opened yet. I've had it for quite a while, but they are safer in their padded envelope. That makes sense. Says, oh, not good, Vicky. Yeah, that's hard. And Len says, I didn't post my last box. It was small, but they were the first beads I saw that day 30. So I still want to make something. Nice. Oops, let me put this in this other strand on my lap. PTR 16, $110. These are genuine vintage Tibetan Himalayan rock crystal quartz, round, well, melons actually. And it's the whole strand. And they are slightly graduated. You get really little ones up here. These really little ones are 10 and a half, but then mainly they go from about 16 and a half to about 19 and a half millimeters. Vintage or antique, these might be antique by now. Himalayan rock crystal, hand carved into melons. One strand available, PTR 16, $110. Very nice strand from Andrew's private stash. Let's see here. These are rubies, rough rubies. See, they were 40. Go down to 28. There are only 2 strands of these available. Some of y'all have grabbed these before, I know. PTR 17, rough rubies. These are the 2 strands. One's slightly larger, one's slightly smaller. Rough ruby strands. Really pretty strands. 2 strands available. Only $28. Some of y'all have loved these in the past. I don't know if you've used them yet. We still have 2 available. And then that's it. We will probably never get a deal like these again. We can charge $28 for a whole strand of rough rubies like that. It's a great deal. All right, let me try putting away some of these smaller charms. Nobody's grabbing them anymore. So let me put those away. The B charm, PTR9, silver. PTR11 is the scarab charm. PTR12. Scarab charm in the gold. We still have 2 of those left. TR12. Let's move these over. So the fluorite high end, jade, the pink opal nuggets, the Himalayan rock crystal, and the rough rubies. Really pretty stones tonight. Or today, this afternoon. I keep saying tonight like it's nighttime. It's when I'm used to doing this. PTR 18. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. 8 of these. They are $6 each. These are lovely, chunky, green aventurine beads. They're so dark, so lovely in color. Green aventurine. They're faceted. Holes are drilled lengthwise this way, top to bottom. Beautiful green aventurine. $6 a bead or a pendant. I consider those a pendant. And they are 22 by about 29 and a half. Leslie says, "Be still my heart." I know, right? Look at that. These are vintage, obviously vintage, right? Green aventurine. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, I counted right. 8 of them available, $6 each. That is, I was kind of delighted when I found these in the shelves, in the drawers. Green aventurine, PTR 18, $6 each. Those are some chunky, chunky stones. Let's see how many of these I have. This was a very expensive strand that I took apart. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, I think. 11 of these. PTR 19. These are chunky labradorite. We've just sold 2 of the 18s. Thank you so much. It means we have 6 of them left. These are beautiful, large, chunky labradorite pendants, drilled lengthwise. And trying to find the flash. Depends how the light hits, where the flash is on them. But this is a vintage strand. And all different shapes and sizes on these. Beautiful. I love the stone. We had some of these the other day that they sold out that were kind of almost like a, I don't know, they were triangular, a rounded triangle shape. And I love these as well. So vintage, $7 each. 11 of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Yeah, 11 of them available. PTR 19. Really pretty stones. And then for the first time ever, I have divided up one of these strands. We don't normally cut these apart, but I did. These are the quatrefoil integri. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. I have 20 of them. They're $2 each. Those those strands are pretty expensive. Quatrefoil Tiger Eye. If you don't want to buy the whole strand, I do still have one whole strand available. If anyone's interested in a whole strand, but I figured I'd sell them this way because I know a lot of people have grabbed the whole strands, but maybe you just want a few. Been waiting for us to break them apart, so I finally did. Beautiful quatrefoil Tiger Eye drilled top to bottom this way. And they are $2 a piece. And the size on these is approximately 17 millimeters. 17 millimeters. PTR 20. Oh, this is another very nice strand I took apart. These are $3 each. They really should be more. Let's see, what do we have? How many of these do I have? This is Blue Chalcedony. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of those. Blue Chalcedony with some of the rough on it, which I love. Some of the matrix on some of those. These were strands that Andrew had. They are vintage strands. I took one of them apart to sell individually for y'all. They are expensive for the strand. They were 40 some dollars, $48, I think. You're getting them less than that, buying them by the piece. And these are PTR 21. Beautiful blue chalcedony. These would make lovely pendants, just even on a chain. When Mercury retrograde comes around, throw it on, sell those as protection against Mercury retrograde. Nice beads. $3 each only. PTR 21. All right, now I gotta pick up some of these because I'm getting too full here. PTR 13 is still available. We've got 7 of those. It's the fluorite. PTR 14. About 7 of these. These are the dyed jade, beautiful cranberry color pendants, $3 each. Nice big pendants for the price. Let's see. These, the pink opal beads, big nuggets in pink opal, $2 each only, 18 of those available. We have the Himalayan rock quartz, crystal quartz, $110 for the strand. Not breaking that one apart because that's Andrew's private one, and he will put it back in his collection if instead of taking apart the beads, unless he specifically allows me to someday. All right. And then I'm going to take the rubies, the rough rubies, PTR 17, and put those away. Got a really good deal on those. Normally $40 down to 28. And we will move these up. I need to make more room. I'm running out of room on my desk. Let's move these things up. Empty bags. Some weird stuff. These under here. All right. Move these up. Green aventurine, labradorite, quatrefoils and tiger eye, and New Chalcedony. Okay. Now I lost my marker and all that. Oh, mercy me. Here's another marker. Hopefully it works. PTR 22. These are really cool. These are agate. It's 16 for the strand. It's a 20-piece strand. Jennifer says that green aventurine is quite dark. Yes, it is. It is beautiful. We had some little pieces of green aventurine that was like that. I think they were like little triangles at one point. Super, super nice. And welcome, Jennifer. Thanks for being here. Look at these. This is a 20-piece strand of agate. These little, I think these look like birds, but little S shapes. I don't know. I call them birds. Super cute. And there's only one strand of this available. This is a vintage strand as well. They are faceted. They are about 14.5 by 9.5 millimeters. And it's got some really pretty colors in there. And that's PTR 22, one strand available. PTR 23. Beautiful smoky quartz. This is like super nice, kind of like a gem grade color and quality. Smoky quartz, but in a tube shape, kind of like a 2 or 3-sided now. Two. They're kind of flattened, like a flattened tube. They're all different. But just really great quality smoky quartz. And they look kind of like, I don't know, like an icicle or something. Like, I don't know, they're just super pretty. I love when smoky quartz is so clear without a lot of inclusions. It's so pretty. $20 for that strand. Only one available. It's a vintage strand. Width-wise, these are about 6.5 millimeters. That one's 7 millimeters. So yeah, 6.5, 7, 8 millimeters. Just depends on the stone. 6.5 to 8 millimeters. They do vary in length, but just to give you an idea, this one is 18.5 millimeters. PTR 23, really nice strand. Marion says, love the speckled one. Yeah, me too. When I was looking at these, those like last 4 are my favorites. Well, last 5. We'll go up to there. Those are my favorites on that strand. I do like this one too. Right there. Beautiful color. Almost go from like a blue, green. There's some of that blue color in there. Green into the red. Really pretty. Oh my goodness, it's a stink bug. A stink bug just came out of nowhere. I haven't seen one of the, I did see actually one of those on the ceiling. Ida Bell was chasing it, I think, the other day. She saw it up on the ceiling, was chirping a little bit at it. But yeah, I haven't seen stink bugs and any bugs in quite some time. It's warming up enough for them to come out. Let's see here. This is a picture jasper, large beads, $2 each. Really pretty quality. These are vintage as well. Very beautiful patterns. They're all different. Show you another one. I've got 9 of them available. I'm not going to bring them all out, but they are all super pretty. And they are 30 by 40. 30 by 40 millimeters. PTR 24. This next one is beautiful, and I priced it really well. I have seen prices for this well up into like the $40 range or more for this same. It's crazy lace agate. At least I think that's what it is. That's what I keep coming up with. And I've seen ones very similar to this cost twice as much, close to twice as much as this. But I'm giving you all a good deal. This is a cabochon, and it is beautiful. Doing it at $28. It is a stunning cabochon, flat backed, slightly rounded on the edges, on the top. Gorgeous color. Such an amazing stone. And I think, let's see here, this one is 27 by 35. 27 by 35 millimeters, $28. That is an exceptional stone cab. No holes. Isn't it lovely? Super pretty. We have sold the agate strand. Thank you so much. To put that away. We've also had somebody come in and grab some of the pink opal, the large pieces of pink opal. Thank you. We appreciate that very much. I'm going to go ahead and put away the green aventurine, if I can find the bag. What do I do with the bags? Strange. Okay. Let me grab a bag. I did lose some bags here. Oh, maybe they were in super giant bags. PTR 18. No, we sold 2 of the green aventurine. There's still 6 left. I cannot believe more people didn't grab these. How beautiful and these vintage stones are. You don't see that kind of deep green quality much anymore. $6 each. I'm glad somebody grabbed some. You'll be happy with those. All of these loose stones this weekend are going to go into the store after this. So if you're in Johnstown, they'll be available in the store. Like these labradorites, $7 each. Beautiful chunky labradorite. 11 of those available. Nobody grabbed any of those. That surprises me a little bit. I know they're not as flashy, but the stones are so pretty. Sometimes it's not about the flash, it's about the stone for me, the formation of the stone. And nobody got the quatrefoils. $2 each. Those will go into the store as well. I think those will sell well in the store for bracelets and whatnot. We did just sell 2 of the 24s. Thank you so much. That means there are 7 of those still available. And the blue Chalcedony, last chance at these because these will go into the store as well. These are $3 each. Unless you're in Johnstown. Last chance, unless you're in Johnstown. Really lovely blue chalcedony, $3 a bead. And that is PTR 21. Oh, we just sold some quatrefoils as I put them away. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I'm going to move these. PTR 23, beautiful strand of smoky quartz. PTR 24, these picture jaspers. Sold 2 of those. We still have 7 left. PTR 25, that amazing, amazing cabochon. Susan says, I'm glad someone bought that agate strand. My bead budget is glad too. I'm glad too. I can't believe it took a while, but I'm glad somebody did grab it. It's really cool. PTR 26. Let's see here. Let me take a look at this and see what I can price this as. Let's see here. This was 22. I'll bring it down to $18. It's a beautiful Lamport glass bead, PTR 26. Beautiful Lamport glass, ocean themed. It's got kind of like ammonites. They've done like kind of an ammonite or shell design on them. And that really pretty blue. Beautiful Lamport glass. That is approximately 16.5 by 26 millimeters. Was 22, down to $18 for you all. PTR 26. Let's see here. Oh, we just sold one of the, is it dyed jade? Thank you so much. Hello there, by the way. And let's see here. We just sold some more of the tiger eye. Oh, I also want to remind people, please do not reply to one of your old emails to send a new one. It works, but in our email inbox, it gathers all of your emails together, so you could miss out on things because I won't see your emails until like the last send that you make. So it gathers, like if you beat someone out to something below, I won't see your email until, like, if you sent something at the very end of the show, I won't see all of your emails until the very end of the show. So please send a brand new email each time, so that you don't miss out on things, because I can't go back and rework the spreadsheet after I have everything done. So just send a brand new email every time. I know it's more convenient to reply to an old email because it just automatically sends quick, but it does organize things chaotically a little bit for me in my email inbox. We just sold 26 Lamport glass. Thank you so much. And we just sold some of the 15, which are the pink opal nuggets. I do have those still available. Thank you so much for grabbing those. All right. Where am I at here? PTR 27. Well, this is cool. Come on, if I can get the bag open. This is a beautiful Tagua nut pendant. We had this at 14. I'll bring it down to 12. We just sold one of the rough ruby strands. Thank you so much. The PTR 17. That's a good deal. Good deal on that. PTR 27 is a Tagua nut pendant. Beautiful toggle nut has some of the kind of outer coating still left on, which I love. Like they polished it down, but these form with these in the recesses, and so they didn't polish all the way through, which is kind of cool. I love that. Left some of that on there. Makes it a really cool design. Super lightweight, 33 by 40 millimeters. Sold some more of the quatrefoil tiger eye. Thank you so much. PTR 28 coming up at you. This was 24. I'll bring it down to 21. All right, let's see here. Okay. Somebody reset. Thank you. You don't have to do that because I saw it coming, but I appreciate that. Thank you so much. PTR 28. Let me see, what do these? Let me see here. I don't like when they have these huge, giant ends sticking up. This is vintage glass, I believe. Let me see if it says. What does it say? It is vintage glass. These are faceted rectangles in this yellow and clear, kind of like that Givre dual color glass. There's only one strand of these that I've got. It was 24, bringing it down to 21. And I don't know how many, let's see here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 beads for $21, less than $1 a bead. And these beads are approximately 10 by 15. 10 by 15. PTR 28. PTR 28. One strand available. Susie says, will you be getting pottery back tonight? I don't know. I'm hoping so. I have some really cool things that I think I've shown you all before, but I have these things that are waiting to be glaze fired. So I should be getting these back, at least these 4 things. But that's if she got around to fitting my stuff in the next glaze fire she did. So I don't know. I never know until I go and see my shelf. But I'm hoping I get those back because I'm very excited to see how they come out. I hope they come out well. But you never know. They're all kind of new experimental things I've been playing around with, and ways of coloring things and doing things. Let's see here. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this at a simple $10. I've only got one of these available. Susan says, I'd love to see how the glazes turn out. You and me both. You and me both. Again, it's got this wild string hanging off of here. Vintage coral, sponge coral. $10 for the strand. Susie says, can't wait to see me either. I'm super excited. I'm hoping they come out good. Just sold 29. Thank you so much. Gone. That's the way I like it. I like it like that. Show it and it's gone. That makes me happy in my heart. PTR 30. Let's let's see here. I'm going to do this one. Let's do this at a simple 12. This is a Millefiori glass. Millefiori glass in red. And I think this is vintage Korean. I believe if I remember correctly, this is from our vintage buyout. It was vintage Korean glass. Millefiori in red. Super pretty. And $12 for the strand. That is 8 millimeters by 16 millimeters. 8 by 16 millimeters. One strand available. PTR 30. And let's see. I was a little short yesterday, so I have 2 more things left in my bag. I'm gonna go ahead and no, I have 3 more things. Wait, 3, that's an odd number though. That's an odd number. Oh well, I'm just gonna do them because I was a little short yesterday because I wasn't feeling good. So PTR 31, and I already priced all these out. I'm going to show them to you. PTR 31. Jennifer says, yeah, that coral looks fabulous and a great price. Yeah, it's a nice vintage strand. Somebody grab that real quick. Thank you. This is carnelian, large carnelian drops. They are drilled top to bottom. They're kind of flat drops, right? Nice for pendants. And they're $6 each. Whoa, throwing them around. Oh, I like that. I like those inclusions on that one. So that is PTR 31. I'm going to move this one up here so we make some room here. PTR 32. This was 35, and I'm going to bring it down to 28. This is a strand of cubic zirconia. Cubic zirconia drops, faceted drops. Beautiful beads. Beautiful color. Look at that sparkle. Good CZs. And it's PTR 32. These are about 8 millimeters. Nice, sparkly, beautiful strand. PTR 32. PTR 33. Let's see here. We had this at 18. I'll bring it down to, let's do 16 on this. PTR 33. This is a strand of electroplated lava in gold. Gold color, beautiful electroplated lava. Super nice light beads, but add that bling, a little bit of kind of like a soft gold to anything, but not add a lot of weight like a metal bead would. Great for earrings. PTR 33. And let me see, I hate ending on an odd number. So let's do these. How about these? PTR 34 was 18 a strand. Bring it down to 14 a strand. I've got 2 of these available. Yeah, 2 of these available. This is a faceted round yellow agate. the light up here, make it easier. Beautiful strand of agate. Anna said, I'm listening on my way home. Thank you for listening. So I'll give you a few extras here today, 34, because I wasn't feeling good yesterday and I cut us off at 20. So there we go. That's the last one. These faceted rounds are really pretty and they are about 6 millimeters. Like I feel like these would go really nicely with like those. They really bring out the yellow in that glass, right? Beautiful. All right, y'all. Thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. Well, today, with me today, even Andrew wasn't able to be here. He's sleeping right now. This is his sleep time. And I'm going to go condense this up, maybe start the spreadsheet, but I'll probably not be able to invoice until I get home tonight, depending on how quickly I can spreadsheet this out. But I'll probably be invoicing once I get home. So you have until then to claim. Of course, you have a few days. We always keep this open for a few days. But once I bag everything up and it goes into the stash with all the other inventory, I don't usually reopen the lots because then I have to really hunt for stuff, and that's hard. So if you see something you like, please claim it as soon as you can. And if you're watching this replay, thank you for watching the replay. I know some people can't watch this during the afternoon. So if you're watching this in the evening, I appreciate it so much. We've got lots of lovely things still available. And please feel free to send an email. If you're not sure if I said it was sold or not sold, never hurts to send an email. All right. And I'll check it out for you. Once the spreadsheet's done, it makes it super easy for me to tell you if it's still available. So thank you so much. I'm going to get this ready and then head off to pottery. So have a great evening, everybody. And thank you for hanging out with us this afternoon. All right. Bye now.